Hello everyone, my name is James Boko. I'm a software engineer. Welcome to this particular system which I'm about to demonstrate. So the system is MediXpart. So basically it's a hospital system. Just to explain my code base. So basically the app is created using Next.js. So as you can see right now, I'm here in this particular code. And if I come to the terminal here, you can see that I'm running Node.js. So let me restart the server. So basically I'm running Node version 14. So when we go to this particular pod, we can be able to see. Let's give it time to load. Alright, so it's taking some times, but basically there's this one which there it is, it have loaded. So basically as you can see from here, we have this particular front end that you can see here, which is loading. So right now I had logged in as a receptionist, but we'll come back to that. So basically that's the setup for the Next.js. So I'm going to minimize that. Apart from that, the API is separate. So basically you can see I'm also running PHP here. So if I try to stop that and restart, we can see that the API will run at this particular port. So we can visit that particular port and see. So basically you can see this the API, and now this the front end part with Next.js. So basically we'll be going through the system, but before then, maybe just to show you, if I come to Postman, as you can see from here, so basically here I have this endpoint. As you can see, I'm running it on localhost where we were. So if I try to send a post request to that particular URL, as you can see from there, using username receptionist and then the password being that. So if I try to send that, so basically you can see that you're getting a response of that particular user data, and also we're getting a token. Now we're going to use this particular token from our front end to authenticate to the API. Maybe another example could be, let me use another role. So that was the receptionist. So this time we can go with somebody like super admin. So there we are also sending that. So again we see we have super admin and we're having that, and so far and so forth. We also have doctor, so we can try doctor. So when I send that, we also get the same information as you can see here. So we have somebody by the role laboratory technician. So again, if I send that, we can get that. So basically after you do this, if you get this particular code token, you can be able to do to fetch and also update the DB. So that's basically it. So maybe just to mention, also the system is online, so we'll be also testing it at the end. Posted it on Vercel. So if you go to Vercel, you can see I have the app here already, and if I click on that particular link, it will open on that particular application, as you can see from here. So now this one you can access it maybe to test online, and so far and so forth. So I'm just going to start. I'm going to cancel all this, and then I'm just going to be left by the one that we are running localhost. So let me try to sign out here. So basically what you see here is basically the front end part of the system, and this is the landing page. We have that picture, we have all the description, and all this information we can be able to dynamically change them. I'll show you how. Apart from that, we have these particular pages here, but before that we can also be able to change the theme. As you can see from here, we can toggle from the dark to the right, as you can see from there, and also from here we have that route file they are loading. We also have this particular form where patients can be able to book appointment. Maybe before we start with this one, let's try to log in through all the users that we are having, and then from there we'll be able also to test on this particular form here. So I'm going to click on sign in. Alright, so I'm going to click on sign in there. So waiting for that. So basically, as you can see, I'm in the sign in page, and maybe let me start by logging in as the super admin. I'll log in as super admin right there. Okay, so authenticating, and then it's loading. right? So right now we are authenticated as the super admin. You can check up here. So if I click on that and then I say go to dashboard, right? So waiting for that. Go to dashboard. Alright, so my machine is a little bit slow. Okay, so there it is, it's loading. Yeah. Also, maybe just to mention, the system is also integrated with MPESA. We'll be testing that in a real live situation on the version which is online. Yeah, so basically I'm logged in here. So from here, the super admin can be able to see the total number of super admin, doctors, nurses, receptionist, pharmacist, and lab technicians is from here. And then from here we have these particular graphs here where you can also be able to cancel if you want to arrange graph or a bar graph. And then we have this particular pie chart whereby we can have occupied beds, medicine, empty bed, and so forth and so forth, and also test them. Again, we can also be able to tangle through the dark theme and also to the right theme, as you can see from there. Yeah, maybe just to start with, dashboard is basically where we are. So if I try to go to profile, so let me go to profile. Yeah, if we go to profile, as you can see from here, we can see all this particular information. These are the information of this particular user. And maybe just to mention, the good thing with Next.js or React in general is that you don't see it loading from here. The components are being loaded as they are needed. That is good, and that will help the system to be a little bit fast compared to the traditional way of fetching data from the server. So that is good. So let's start from patients. Yeah, so the super admin can be able to view all the patients who are registered, yeah, as you can see from here. So let me try to maybe like view this particular patient. So by clicking on that particular eye there, so we'll be able to view, right? So waiting for that. So basically we can see from here, this is the detail of this particular patient, as you can see from here. And also if the patient has a bill, we can also be able to see here. Actually the super admin is like the one who is overviewing everything, overseeing, I mean. And then also super admin can also be able to add a bill. Maybe we say YouTube bill, and then maybe quantity we say maybe 2, and then we say each is 200, like that. And then we can also be able to add that. Yeah, basically you can see we have YouTube bill, and also we can also be able to delete with that confirmation, but I'm going to cancel that. We can also be able to edit from this particular button there, so clicking on that and maybe changing this one to maybe 300, and also updating. So this information which is being updated here, the receptionist will be able to see it, and we'll see that when we get there. Yeah, so basically that's everything for the super admin to do with patients. Yeah, so the other thing is users. Yeah, so basically super admin can be able to see all the users of the system. These are the users that we have that we'll be testing. We have the lab technician, pharmacist, we have a receptionist, we have a nurse, and then we have a doctor, and then we have a super admin. We can also be able to search from here. If we want doctor, it will auto search there, and then we can change the state. Like if a nurse, we want the nurse not to be able to access the system, so what we can do is that we can change that particular state to inactive, and then we can be able to save, as you can see from there. So we have that inactive nurse, but I'm going to take that nurse back to active because we'll be testing with her. Also, we can also be able to change the role of that particular person, but we'll stick to that. Those are the roles that we can have that, and then I submit that. Alright, apart from that, we can be able to add a user. So we're going to add one user for demonstration purposes. I'm going to say James, James K, and then username we can say headless 100, and then we have maybe my email is James, let me type anything, so like that. So maybe that my email, and then the role this time I can say maybe it's a patient or a lab technician, whoever, like that, maybe a doctor, and then I say just save that. So right there we can see that that is saving, so waiting for that. We have that beautiful loading right there, so waiting for that to load. Yeah, so that is good. We can see we have James K, the headdress, the first person have been added, and basically that's how we can be able to create a new user in the system. So the other thing is medicine. The super admin will control the medicine, as you can see from here. So the super admin can add a new medicine, can update stock, add a new stock, and or maybe update the one that were existing, and also stock update history. So we'll do one by one. But before then, what we have already here can also be edited, so like edit this one. And as we do all these things, you can check the system is not loading from here. Yeah, so this one I can say maybe this one is updated like that, and once we update that, the state changes, as you can see from up there. And then maybe this one is like it's 100, and then I say update the medicine. Alright, that's good. We can see that it's updated. Basically that's how you can be able to update. If maybe it's the price, maybe from 100 to something, so let's try to change this one to maybe something like 200. That is good. And then I say that is good. Yeah, so we can say we have updated that. So let's try to add stock from here. Okay, so from here I can say I want to add this medicine, this one, so all this. And if I try to add without specifying the cost here, it won't go through. So maybe the quantity here we want omeprazole, as we can see the quantity for 7. Let's try to add 3. So just 3, so that we can have it being 150. So 3, and then cost, maybe we bought it at that, so this could be anything. So as you can see, I'm adjusting this one. The total is changing here, and grad total is also accumulating the same. We can also be able to delete, and we can also be able to add from here. So maybe the supplier this time was YouTube supplier, and then we have maybe plastic talk, something like that, somebody. So that should be the name of the supplier. And then we have a note. And then if we paid this particular supplier using MPESA, or maybe using card, or maybe using anything here, bank, also we have maybe a reference, something like that. It could be a reference. And then finally we can be able to add stock. So I want us to monitor this one. This one was 147, and we have added 3, so it should be 150. So let's try to add that stock. Alright, so I've clicked on add stock. Alright, for some reason we are not going through, so I can clearly see there is something there. Okay, there was an error setting that information, so let me try to check. I'm going to remove all this one, and we're going to test with 1 right there. Also we get an error, but basically what should happen is that once I do that, it should update this particular number here. So for that one I'll check. So basically that's how a super admin can be able to add medicine quantity from a supplier. Alright, so that is it. And then after adding, you can also see history. If there is, you have been updating, you can see the history here. So for now we don't have any, simply because we have not updated any. So the other thing is the lab test. So trying to go there. So basically these are the tests that we do. So these are dummy tests which I've added here. And again, you can also be able to perform the CRUD here, so which is edit. You can either edit, right? So that information, maybe we say updated again, just to see what's happening. All right, and then I save the changes. Yeah, we can see that it's updated there. So also you can also be able to add a test here. So let's try to add one test. We call it what? Ear test. I don't know what is that. Then I type something like that, and then maybe say price is 34, duration is like one minute. All right, and then we say category of this is urine test, and then I say save changes. Yeah, so for that we can see that that particular test is added there. So basically that's how the admin can be able to manage all the tests in the system, and other users can be able to access all those particular tests. All right, so we go to the receptionist. So we'll come back to this receptionist, but maybe just to explain. So whatever is sold in the hospital on the receptionist side, the admin can be able to see it here and also export into PDF. But right now we don't have any, simply because we haven't sold anything. But once we are logged in as the receptionist, I'll come back to here. So if I try to export this one, you can see we are not getting anything. So I'll come back to this, but that's how you can be able to export and also print or save. So let me cancel that and cancel this. And then the other thing is web content. Yeah, so basically if I sign out, as we can see from here, basically this information, everything that you see here, even this particular image, we can be able to change it. So the way we can do that is that we can, let's get one image from online. We say Robert Hospital. Let's grab one picture from the internet and we're going to use it. All right, so for that, there we are. So I want to take PNG one, so let's try to take PNG. All right, so waiting for that. Yeah, so maybe we can have something like this. So let me save this particular image, then I'm going to save it in the desktop. So there it is. So I want us to adjust the name of the website and also the image. So I'm going to log in back as the admin where we were, so that we can be able to do that. So here I say it's admin, not admin but super admin. So that is loading, and there we are. All right, so from here I go to there, then I go to dashboard. Yeah, so basically that's how we are logged in here. So if I go to web content here, we can see these are the information which we were seeing on the landing page, and I want to change it. So let's try to update that. So I'm going to say update, and then I'm going to change the name. Let me start by changing the name, MediXpart updated. And also I'm going to change this particular image here, and then I'm going to use the one that we have just downloaded right now, so which we have stored on the desktop. So selecting it there, and then I say select, and then finally I say update. So as we can see that the picture have been changed to that, and also the name of the website have been updated to that. So if I go back, let me sign out this one, we can see that the image have been updated, though that's not a good image, it have been updated. So basically that's how you can be able to do that. All right, so let's try to log in back as the admin. Sorry, not so here I say admin, super admin, sorry, super admin. Alright, so right now we are logged in as the super admin, as you can see from here. So I want to go to dashboard and finalize on the super admin, so that we can start now the whole process. Yeah, so from here we have the words here. So let me go to words so that we can see. Yeah, so basically here is whereby the admin can be able to control the number of wards that the hospital has, like the maternity, intensive care, pediatric, surgical, general ward, and so on and so forth. Again, you can be able to add, you can be able to update, and also you can be able to delete. Finally, we have the beds. Remember, it's outpatient and inpatient. So from here you can be able to add the beds. So we have the number, we have the status, the patient, the cost per day, the word, the note, and also we can also be able to perform the CRUD. As you can see from there, we have actions. Yeah, so maybe just to illustrate, and then from here you have this summary where we have the total number of beds occupied and empty. So if I say add new from this particular button here, you can be able to add a bed and also specify on the cost of this particular bed. So basically that it's everything for the admin, but maybe what I can change before I go is the web content. Let's try to change that image to something better. So there we are. So I say update this, then we're going to choose another image. I hope I have a better image in the desktop, and then I don't know if we go there. Alright, so from here we go there. It's okay, we can stick with that image, it's okay. So let me sign out this one, and I'm going to log in now as the receptionist so that we can start the process. Alright, so I'm logging in as the receptionist, as you can see from here. So let's try to go to the dashboard. Alright, okay, so going to the dashboard right there. Okay, so you can see from here now we are logged in as the receptionist. So basically the work for receptionist is to enroll new patient and also receive payment from here. So basically the receptionist have similar things like profile, the one that you have also checked on the admin part, so you can just see your information there. But let me go to the patient. So basically from here, once you register a patient, actually you can also import some patients. There is this way whereby you can download this XLS which file which I've pressed there, and then you can be able to choose it. So we go to download, we choose it, and then, or like that, we can see that we have imported all those particular patient. Right, so basically that's how you can be able to import if you have it in a file. But basically you have to follow that particular format of that particular Excel. Let me try to open so that you can see it properly. So trying to open that. Okay, so waiting for that to open. Okay, my bad. So I say okay, there we go, start. Okay, waiting for that, discard, yes. Say alright, so here we are. For some reason, so basically once you download that particular Excel, you can be able to see the fields which are there and make sure that they are matching. Alright, so after registration of a patient, now the receptionist need either to send this particular patient to a doctor or maybe to a nurse so that the health measures can be taken from there. So by default there is this bills which I had set there just for testing, but basically these bills they are raised automatically or maybe raised by the doctor or the super admin if maybe a patient have been a certain service have been performed in this particular patient. So we're going to start by sending this particular patient to one of these people here. So I'm going to start by sending it this patient to a doctor, so right there, and then I have some notes there, so if I want to say something I can be able to send like them. And then we can see from here, once we send the patient to the doctor, we have this particular patient booking tracking, whereby you can see that the patient is with a receptionist, with a doctor from here, as you can see. Also we can be able to cancel that and choose another person, but for this I want to send this to the doctor. Alright, but before we log into the doctor and see what the doctor sees, we have these bills. So the patient, the receptionist can be able to pay using several methods. Without ticking them you won't see anything, but once you tick that you can see that we have these methods. We'll be testing even the MPESA, which is already integrated. If let me try to pay 2 bills using these other methods here. The reason why I'm not using MPESA, it's because we're going to test these on an online version at the end of this particular video. but for now I'm going to use this one. So maybe this patient paid with cash, and then we can say pay. So once we pay that, we can see the bill have reduced, and now we have this particular receipt here, and we can be able to print that. As you can see it from here, we can be able to print it from there. Yeah, so I'm going to log in as the doctor now to see the patient that we have sent from the receptionist, if the doctor can be able to see that particular patient. Yeah, so my bad, I typed the wrong password there, so, the name, sorry. So there I am. So I'm logged in as the doctor. Remember, we have sent one patient to this particular doctor. Yeah, so let's try to go to the dashboard and see what the doctor sees. Right. Okay, so we are logged in as the doctor, as you can see from here, and we can see that this particular patient have been sent from the receptionist. Yeah, so what we can do is that we can view this particular appointment that have been sent from the receptionist. And before I proceed to these things, we have the doctor can see the profile, the patient in the hospital, and then appointment which have been sent, also the number of bed and tests, and also medicine that are available. Yeah, so basically a doctor can choose to do all these things. To start with, maybe we can start with uh, okay, we'll go one by one, but basically I can explain one by one before we go through them. So we have the full report of the patient. We can book a service maybe with a lab technician. We can add some diagnosis for this patient. We can admit this patient in a bed. We can view medical diagnosis. We can view test history. We can view drug history. We can view nurses assessment history, and we can view admission history. So let me start with the first one here. Patient full report. So basically, as the name suggests, it will export all the data of this particular patient. If the patient have been the detail of the patient, and then we have the bills, the unpaid bills of this patient, and also the total of those bills. Also the number of bills which are paid. Remember, you have paid these two. And also we'll have the measurements from the nurse, and also maybe patient admission details if the patient have been admitted. Yeah, so I'll skip on book a service because I don't want to send the patient to another person yet. But I'll go to the third one, which is add medical diagnosis, and then from here we can add medical explanation, whereby we can say the condition is this. I don't know if we have a condition called fever. Then actually I don't have that, but I'll just write anything there. And then medical history, previous treatment, concern, and then once you're done, you can be able to submit that. So once you submit that, you will come to this particular page where you can see the history of this patient. Now this is the doctor doing it, and the doctor can be able to do that, and again you can also be able to go back. Yeah, so that's how you do that. So we go to the fourth button here where we can be able to admit this particular patient. Yeah, so clicking on admit patient, hereby we select the bed which we want to admit this particular patient in. So maybe we want to admit to this particular bed, and then we say admit to this particular bed. So basically after admitting, we'll be able to see the details of the admission. So the number of it's that, and then the status is occupied, and then ward is general ward A, note, all those details. And then we can see the date admitted is today, and then days since admission is 0. So to make sure that I test this one, so that you can see how this is calculated, we are going to change this date to a date which is before this date, so that we can see this is being calculated. So I'll go to the database here. So let me go to the database, then I'm going to adjust that particular database. So we go to this one, then I'm going to search admission history. Is not history actually, but admission. and we can see this patient here, date admitted here. So let me try to change this one, and instead of saying this is date date 30, so let's say maybe date 3 was when this patient was admitted, and then we say go. So we have updated that. So let me go back here and try to restart it. Alright, so restarting that and waiting to see that yeah, so it's working. So we can see, because we have put date 3, those are a total of 27 days, as you can see. And then the cost per day is 50, so 50 by 27 is 1350, which means now if we discharge this patient, this bill will be raised at the receptionist level. So let's try to see that. If I say discharge, so I have discharged that patient, but now the bill will be raised. Let me go back to that. So I'm going to sign out. Actually, I didn't check the name of that patient, but I hope we're going to find that patient. Yeah, so if I sign in as the receptionist now, so there we go, and then dashboard. All right, so if I go to patient, probably I think that patient was the first one. So let's try to check if it was Juma. Not really, it wasn't Juma. Okay. Yeah, so basically what we can do is that we can go to dashboard here. We can say, oh, that patient was Michael Miller, as you can see from here. So let's try to view there. Yeah, so this is the patient which you are looking for. Yeah, so you can see that the number of days is 27, the bed changes are 27, so which we have other bills here which is totaling to 1953. So I'm going to pay this one again by maybe card, and then I have a description there, and then I say pay cash. And then now we can see we have no bills, which means now we can be able to print the receipt of this particular patient. So printing that, we can see that this particular receipt can be printed now. Yeah, so basically that's how you deal with inpatient patient. And let's go back to the doctor. So that is good. So if I come here and then I go back in as the doctor, so here I'm logged in as the doctor from here, and then I can go to the dashboard. Alright, so again I'm still going to go to that patient so that we can also test further with that particular patient. Yeah, so that's how you admit that. You can also view medical diagnosis, which we added here from this button. Alright, you can see this is what we added. Alright, so let me go back here. So from here we can view the drug history, but for this patient, remember, we have not administered any drugs, but let's just go there and see. So we have nothing there. Alright, so that's good. We can view nurse assessment. So remember, the doctor can decide to send this particular patient to the nurse. So for that reason, let's try to do that. So we are going to book a service from here, and then we're going to send this person to the nurse right there, and then we are going to say do the measurements, something like that, and then I say send the patient to service provider. Right, so we can see Michael Miller have been sent from the doctor. Now he's supposed to go to the nurse, so we're going to sign out and sign in as the nurse. We're going to sign as the nurse, so there we are. Okay, so right now I'm logged in as the nurse, as you can see. Yeah, so let's go to the dashboard. Yeah, so the nurse can be able to see this patient who have been sent to him or her. So if we go to we click on view, we can be able to add the measurement of this particular patient. For some reason I need to set this one a little bit better. There is that error here, you can see there it's overlapping. So here the nurse can be able to add some assessments. So from there, so maybe the weight is that so I'm just going to type things. I don't know how this should be, so I'll just type that. There we go. Yeah, so here again we type something, and we just save. So you can see now there are two. So once you add it, they will be added here as the nurse. So basically that's how the nurse can be able to do that. All right, so if I go back here, now I can be able to log out and log in back in as the doctor. So let me do that. So here I come, I say my name is doctor. All right, so signing in. Okay, so waiting for that to load, and then coming here to the dashboard. Yeah, so basically from here, remember the patient is from the nurse. So this is the patient we had sent to the nurse from the doctor side. So if we click on this button view here, and then we go to the nurse measurements, view nurse measurement assessment history, there we can be able to, all right, my bad, so type error cannot be property of null. Yeah, so that's an error which I need to correct on that particular page. But basically once that is done, the patient can be able to the doctor can be able to see all those particular measurements from that particular tab. Yeah, so basically that is it. That's how the doctor can be able to do that, to view what have been sent from the nurse. So that is good. So the other things that we need to test are too. Yeah, also here we can also be able to see the admission history if this patient have been admitted. So we can see that there is this admission which we had performed earlier, which was 1350. Alright, so we're going to send the patient either to the pharmacy, and also we're going to send the patient to the lab and see what happened.